Hey, welcome to the Build and Learn series. Learning SolidWorks while playing with Lego has never been this fun. Thank you, ChatGPT, for that introduction. Now, for this lesson, something a bit different. Today I'm going to show you how to download a step file, import it to SolidWorks, and recreate it using the SolidWorks tools so that you then have an editable part. So it's part of my project, and what I've provided is all the SolidWorks files and 3D step files for people to download. No one's done it yet. That's cool. There is a bit of a process to do it, but I'm going to show you how easy it is, and then we'll go through the process of importing and recreating, as I've just mentioned. So the way to do it, you go to one of my videos, I click on this button that says free download. Subscribe to our emailing list. You can download SolidWorks files or 3D step files. I'm not going to spam you with any crap. Okay, so all you need to do, you can see here the files available, parts assembly, 3D step files, and the assembly instructions. To gain access, you need to subscribe, check your inbox, confirm your subscription, and then once you've confirmed, that link will take you to the Google Drive where you can download the files. chris@chrisb.co, sign up and download, put that in. I just go to my inbox, I've got this email, thanks for requesting access to our SolidWorks step files. Click to confirm. So you confirm your subscription, and that's going to take you straight to the Google Drive. Now, all the parts in the Google Drive are numbered. So if you know what you're looking for, here, the part that we're going to do today is this 4567887, this gray triangular piece. So we can search for that. You can actually search straight from the folders here, or you can go to the step file. You can go to the step folder, and we look at a list. We are looking for, what was that number? We can just copy paste that number, and here's the part. There's a dark gray step and SolidWorks part. We're going to take the step file. So I click on that step file, click download. All right, done. Now let's go into SolidWorks. This is what the finished part looks like. Extrude, cut, another cut, some fillets, another cut, and a boss extrude with dimensions. But we're going to recreate. Okay, I'm going to open up my downloads folder, and there I can see the file I've just downloaded. To import that into SolidWorks, best thing to do, click drag. Now I don't want to drag into this part file. I actually just want to drag it up to the menu at the top. And you can see there's a little info pop-up there that says hold the Alt key to access import settings. So I can do that as well, and then let go of the mouse. And this is my import settings. Now these are system options. For a step file import, I'll just leave whatever's there. There's nothing complicated about it. Just press OK. And then here is our step file. Now, this step file has all the same detail as the part we were just looking at, but it's not editable in any way, as far as we can't adjust the sizes without adding new features. So let's give that a go. Okay, now once we've got that part opened, we can go about recreating it. Now to do that, out of our starting point, I'm just going to set this part to have a red color. So I know that's the original. And then we can also look at where the origin is as a starting point, and it's in this bottom left corner, as you can see on screen right now. Okay, so let's go about recreating that. Now, when we are recreating it, there's absolutely no problem using the existing geometry there, but what we need to be aware of is that later when we delete that original step file import, we want all our references to remain unlinked to it, okay? So you can add references to start to set the dimensions up, but then when you're done, you want to change those so that they've got their own relationships to, let's say, the origin or the other planes, but not to the original body. That is the key. Now, a couple of things I typically like to do with something like this. First, any fillets, I want to click them and I want to see if there's a consistent radius. You can see here, this one has a radius of 0.2 millimeters. And if I click around all of these edges, I'm using the measure tool, which I have hotkeyed with the M key. So M, hit that face, 0.2 millimeters. All right, all these fillets that you can see have that radius to them. It's going to be a lot easier for me to select my bodies if I delete those fillets, and that's going to use one of our favorite tools, delete face. And for delete face, I'm going to select delete and patch, and I'm going to click on all of these fillets. I'm going to click on each of those tangent faces there, each of those fillet faces, and then when I'm done, press OK, and it removes them. All right, so now I have a nice straight shape to use and reference. All right, let's do our first sketch. Now that is going to be on the right plane, and we'll go normal 2, and we can see the shape. Now if I start from the origin, I can draw up. I can go right to that point. I don't have to worry about the radius that's there. I can just use that point as well. Okay, now there's our shape. The other thing I'm going to do with our original solid body is just make it transparent. And now you can see those sketch lines we've created. But hey, the problem with this is that if I delete this body, that relationship, okay, that coincident relationship with that point to that edge disappears or becomes an error. So here's what we want to do. I'm going to delete those relations and I'm going to add a dimension. Now, adding my dimensions, I could go right-click, fully define sketch, calculate, and OK. How's that for an extract? All right, now this one here, this coincident relation, that's to the origin. So it's not to the part. It's completely fine. Now, I could do here an extrude going up to surface like this, and the same the other way. But again, that's going to create a relationship to the body that we're going to delete later. So I don't want that. Instead, we should know what the dimension is at this point of the project. 15.8, mid-plane, extrude, and uncheck merge result. Very important. All right, and that is done. Let's move on to the next step, which is going to be removing this material around the bottom edge. Now to do that, we're going to select this face, and this is where understanding how to create certain geometry actually helps you when you're recreating something that you can already see. I've made the part, so I know how it was done, but as you build up your skills and you see more models and you do more practice models, you'll understand the tricks to create certain geometry in the most efficient way possible. In this one, I'm going to convert that edge. I'm going to do an extruded cut, but I'm going to make it a thin feature cut, and I'm going to make sure it's going to the inside. So I flip that direction. I'm just going to bring that back until the lines match. You can see there at a 0.4 mil thickness that matches. And then for the distance, I'm going to make it blind, and let's try 0.4, and there we go. We can see that is a match. And I'm going to select this body and press OK. And now that is cut into my new solid body here, which I'm going to make green. All right. So now when we're looking at the preview, let me just brighten that up a little bit. Okay. Where it's this solid green here, all right, in the middle, that's where there's material that we need to remove. Where it's this kind of reddy greeny color, that's where we're matching the existing geometry. All right. Now, if I do a section view, you can see through here, I need to remove this material. That's my next step. All right. Now, we can measure from the top face to this edge, and I can see it's a 1.2. Safe to assume we're doing a shell that has a 1.2 millimeter thickness. So I'm going to get shell 1.2, select this face, press OK, and that's done. Now, I think we have encountered our first example of a slight mistake. The shell has included the thickness here from the cut extrude. What we need to do is swap the order of those two features to get that geometry right. Okay, that's looking good. Next, we have to create this cut on the bottom. Let's use our top plane, and we can see the shape that we need to create. I'm just going to click on this body and isolate it, which means I'm only seeing our new solid body. I'm going to create a center point arc. I'm going to make sure that is in line with the origin. And then these other ones, well, for that, we might have to reference the other geometry here. Now, again, here's another trick. We can click and drag and see if we can get an edge, which we can. And then again, I can get that edge and make them co-radial. And now it's fully defined. Now, once it's fully defined, we know we've got the size right. Then we have to delete those relations we've just added, and we can go fully defined sketch. This is okay. All right. Now we're going to do a cut extrude, because we need to go down to that face. And so we're going to do extruded cut, and we're just going to increase this distance until we're getting to that edge. Now, if I go to a section view on the side, I can just bump that up. Looks like it is 2 millimeters, and I want to make sure I'm selecting the right body. So I go auto select this body, and then I think I selected the wrong body. So let me isolate this one. Look, that's the wrong one. Let me hide this one, edit that extrude, just clear that, and then select the green one. Okay, That's better. All right, last step, create this second last step. Create this pin on the bottom. So the top plane, we can use these for reference. So it is 3, and then I believe it's going to be like 0.8 offset. That's good. Delete that relation, isolate so we're only seeing the body we need, and then use references to that body and not the other one that we're about to delete. All right, so that's created that shape. That extrude up to next, going down. Now this is actually a tricky one. We might go up to body instead, all right, because there's 2 bodies there at the moment. So I got a bit confused when we did up to next. All right, and then our last step is going to be those fillets. So we're going to fillet 0.2 millimeter, select all of our edges, okay, exit isolate, and now here's a trick. Okay, we can see the difference because we deleted those fillets. We can delete that delete face feature, and now we should have a perfect match of the geometry if we followed all those steps correctly. And this looks pretty good. All right, so the last step. Before this point, I recommend saving. So I'm going to save this as. Now you've already imported it with the correct name. Okay, so you don't need to change anything there unless you're making a new part from it. Okay, well, that works. All right, last step, delete the original step file. And this is where we will find out whether or not we were able to avoid accidentally attaching any references to it. So I'm going to hit delete, hit yes, it's gone, and now I have an editable part, just like that. All right, let me know in the comments how you went. This is a neat trick that you can use for any of the parts throughout the project that I don't show the modeling for on screen. There's a lot of repeat parts, small, really simple parts that only might have taken 30 seconds to model, and I'd rather skip over and get to the really juicy stuff. So use this trick to recreate any of the models that I haven't shown you, or that I don't show you by the time I get to the end. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end. Really appreciate that. This has been the LEGO Build and Learn series by Fully Defined. If the next video has been released, it'll be on the top link to your right. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and leave a comment below with what you'd like to see next. Your feedback is what motivates me to provide more content. See you in the next one.